Every war, every invention, every turning point has a lesson. Subscribe today, and let's keep unlocking history, one video at a time.
Russia's largest drone attack hits Kyiv. Kyiv's skies went dark, not with bombers, but with hundreds of drones, the biggest swarm the world has ever seen. They came before dawn, hundreds of drones buzzing like a metallic swarm above Kyiv. The largest drone attack of the war had begun. Streets lit up with tracers, defenses roared, and the sky burned with explosions. Russia's goal wasn't just destruction, it was to overwhelm Ukraine's air defenses, draining resources with waves of cheap kamikaze machines. But this was more than a single night of terror. It was a warning. Drones, once the stuff of sci-fi, are now reshaping war. Cheap, deadly, and nearly unstoppable. Ukraine shot most of them down, but the message was clear. The battlefield has changed forever. If hundreds can darken Kyiv, what's to stop them from darkening the skies of any major city? This was not just Ukraine's fight, it was a glimpse into the wars of tomorrow. They came before dawn, hundreds of them, buzzing like a metallic swarm in the night sky. To some, they sounded like angry hornets, to others, like an approaching storm. In reality, they were drones, small, cheap, deadly, and now, for the first time, deployed in numbers so vast that they marked the largest drone attack of the war. Kyiv awoke, not to the familiar sirens of missiles, but to the haunting hum of machines, unmanned yet merciless. This attack wasn't just another strike in a brutal conflict, it was a turning point, a moment that revealed how modern warfare is being rewritten not by colossal tanks or supersonic jets, but by swarms of disposable machines controlled from miles away. And yet, behind the whirring rotors and explosive charges lies a story of desperation, innovation, and global consequence. For centuries, war has evolved with technology. Gunpowder shifted the balance of empires. Tanks rolled over trench warfare. Nuclear bombs redefined deterrence itself. But drones have done something different. They've blurred the line between soldier and civilian, between front lines and home front. And in Kyiv, that line vanished under the shadow of hundreds of Shahed-type drones, Iranian-designed but now mass-produced in Russia's own factories. Eyewitnesses recall the eerie glow of tracers streaking across the night sky as Ukrainian defenses fired relentlessly, trying to knock the machines out before they reached their targets. The city sounded like a symphony of chaos. Air defenses barking, explosions echoing, the electric hum of drones still pressing forward. In one chilling moment, the country's government quarter lit up in flames. Kyiv, long hardened by war, had never seen a night quite like this. But this wasn't random. The attack was strategic. Russia unleashed the swarm not only to cause destruction, but to test Ukraine's air defenses, to overwhelm them, to drain their ammunition. Every interceptor missile fired at a cheap drone cost Ukraine tens or hundreds of times more than the weapon it destroyed. In that cruel arithmetic of war, the attacker was already gaining advantage. And yet Ukraine fought back with remarkable resilience. Local commanders reported over 80% of the drones were shot down. Streets were littered with twisted wreckage, proof that David could still strike at Goliath, even when Goliath's weapons came in swarms. But the sheer scale left the world stunned. Analysts immediately asked, was this a preview of the wars to come? Consider this, just a decade ago, drones were the realm of Hollywood thrillers and Pentagon budgets. Today, they're assembled from off-the-shelf parts costing just thousands of dollars. They're flown by operators who may be hundreds of kilometers away, or in some cases guided by pre-programmed routes like mechanized kamikaze. In Ukraine, they're not just tools of surveillance, they're weapons of terror, psychological warfare buzzing right above apartment blocks, power stations, and schools. And this raises haunting questions. How do you defend a city against a sky full of machines? How do you shield civilians when the cost of intercepting each drone could bankrupt even the wealthiest nations? Military strategists are comparing it to the arrival of the machine gun in World War I. Sudden, brutal, and destined to change everything. For Kyiv, the attack underscored its isolation and resilience all at once. Civilians spent the night in underground shelters, listening to the chorus of explosions above. Children clutched stuffed animals while parents checked their phones for updates. For them, this was not an abstract debate about the future of warfare. It was survival, minute by minute. But beyond Ukraine's borders, world leaders paid close attention. Because if hundreds of drones can darken the skies of Kyiv, what would stop them from one day darkening the skies of any major capital? Drones can be built in secret workshops, hidden in shipping containers, even launched from the back of trucks. In the wrong hands, they represent not just a military threat, but a civilian one, stretching from New York to Tokyo. And yet there's irony here. Ukraine itself has been a pioneer of drone warfare. From small quadcopters dropping grenades into trenches, to advanced Turkish-built Bayraktar drones striking armored convoys, Ukraine demonstrated early in the war how drones could tilt the battlefield in unexpected ways. Now Russia has responded with its own industrial-scale drone production aiming to flood the skies until defenses crack. The battlefield has become a laboratory and the world is taking notes. Some military historians argue that the drone swarm is the 21st century's blitzkrieg, a tactic that combines speed, surprise, and mass to overwhelm an enemy's defenses. Others see it as a digital version of the kamikaze raids of World War II. But unlike those desperate pilots, today's drones feel no fear, no hesitation. They fly until they explode or until they are shot from the sky. And in that lies the chilling future of war. Machines that never sleep, never question, never mourn. A future where the skies over cities are battlegrounds, where destruction comes not in waves of bombers, but in swarms of buzzing machines. For Ukraine, the largest drone attack of the war was both a warning and a lesson. A warning that Russia's capacity to strike is far from exhausted. A lesson that resilience must adapt. That air defense is no longer about intercepting missiles alone, but about confronting endless swarms of drones, each cheap, each expendable, each potentially deadly. When the fires in Kyiv finally died down, when citizens emerged from their shelters to a city scarred but unbroken, the question lingered in the smoky air. How many more swarms will follow, and how will the world respond? Because in the silence after the buzzing fades, one truth is clear. This is not just Ukraine's war anymore. It is a glimpse into the wars of tomorrow.
Every war, every invention, every turning point has a lesson. Subscribe today, and let's keep unlocking history, one video at a time.